go for a counter pick in this scenario if you want to go for a Camille
Oh,
or the Aurelia.
I love it.
And, you know, if you want to punish, this is the way to go.
Let's see where
That's
Faker's going to go with his pick, because I think locking away a better lane for, or a better option for Teddy could be a good one too. But
Tristana is open, made its way through the draft.
Was banned second by T1 in both games prior to this. So could potentially be a great choice here. Of course, Buster Shot, brilliant into the Gnar. And works
Oh my God.
into Hecarim as well as Faker's Twisted Fate. This is T1 actually, like, I kind of like it, because last game, if they had have played into a 1-3-1, that's actually a pretty good way of dissecting DRX.
You need early Drakes as T1 to time what you're saying. If you don't get the early Drakes, it's just over, because what we've seen really throughout the last split is that, or really the whole year, is that due to the power and importance of Drakes, you cannot just split push. You need to actually get the early objectives, because otherwise the enemy team is going to go, well, good luck split pushing. You'll get a top lane inhibitor and we'll get
a lot of people have been a little bit frustrated by T1, and I think you still can be, right?
You're allowed
I think
to be.
Team to rampage that last one as Kana. Yeah, hit by a turret, definitely not going to help you in this matchup, especially as Kingen is about to hit Mega.
No, that's not good. You need pressure in the lane. That's basically what you pick it for. Can still poke a little bit, has one more cookie that he has now used. And we also saw Pioshik going for the E there, meaning that he might be looking for an early play on both sides. Generally, I think if you're decently sure.
Okay, Kana. I'm not sure he's going to be able to do this, and that is just a solo kill for Kingen on the top side, but almost feels a little bit more like a solo death. Spotted on this ward up here. There's more fighting on the bottom side. Goes Carrier. There's the rocket jump. Immediate flash from Teddy as well. Gets him out of the way. Becca could be in trouble. Teddy following up. Needs one more auto. Will be able to get it. Arcane Shift. We'll see whether it's going to be back off cooldown to try and make it a double. It's not going to be. And the Mystic Shot also not going to land. So 1-1. T1's bottom lane finally able to perform.
Actually taking leads and translating them into more, translating them into objectives, and bot side prio will also mean that you can play players like this.
Yep, this is a 4v2. This is bad news bears. Bao going to try and rocket jump to reposition, but it is not really going to work. Cuz going to have to tank up that last turret shot. Does so. Does still have to blow the flashes. Now Teddy is chasing after Becca. He'll land it. One last auto will get him there. There's the headbutt. And Carey is just going to say absolutely not, Mr. Cowfriend. That is going to be 2.
Pressure point on the map.
Let's see whether T1 can play around it. There's True Shot Barrage going to connect. Flash goes in. 3-man taunt from Carrier as well. And now DRX are forced under their turrets, and the poke damage is real from these guys.
Still possible. Vanguard's Edge, finishing your item.
Well, Nard into the wall is bad news, as he's mini Nard now, so and we'll see whether he can get this. Does manage to find it. Vanguard's Edge comes through, and that's going to be the solo kill in return. Manages to clean up all the minions to get that health back. Also, great flash out from Kana, but the Rampage says no. But now Pioshik may have overextended. Gold card is prepped. The bear slap is there, and I think the horse not going to be able to find safety here. Wildcard's the last auto, and Faker.
And now Kana's going to feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, and Faker is starting to feel comfortable up here on the top side as well. He'll need another gold card, I think, but he'll find it. As there's the ward, goes straight over. Control ward's there, but it's not going to help out as Kana's going to get Nard back, and now King is forced to walk the wrong direction. No flash available. Faker with a gold card prepped. Feeling like we're just waiting for the inevitable right now, as wildcards are going to miss. Pioshik trying to get into position. Solka's moving on up though. Command Protect is going to be there. And now Pioshik's looking for it. 3 versus 2. Faker flashes out immediately. Can he escape is going to be the question, as looks like he thinks that he's going to have to give up for the ghost. And yeah, dashing around, but not going to be able to do it. Dissonance going to be able to tidy that one up. Actually primed for a fight right here as Bao getting chunked a little bit by a Mystic Shot or 2 there by Teddy, who is definitely in fighting form right now. 80 carry difference is going to be huge in this potential fight as Teddy finding more Mystic Shots. Solka and Bao in a little bit of trouble here as Pioshik. Can he actually win this 50-50 is the question. Bao has to get completely out of this fight, and Pioshik will be able to deny the Rift Herald. I don't think they'll be able to get the eye, but the Herald should definitely go over to them as Faker turns up and Bao, yeah mate, you saw the eye above your head. Oh, it's a little bit unfortunate. Faker was in range to jump on top of him, even goes golden to avoid the shockwave. As now Teddy's looking for even more. Oh my goodness, the Everfrost positioning was fantastic, and Teddy locks down the kill onto the Gnar as well. The T1 snowball is well and truly heading down this mountain. This is pretty impressive as well. Shockwave lands onto absolutely no one. Sulker is going to be dead for it as the Onslaught of Shadows comes in. Beautiful answering heroic entrance, and that will deny any sort of re-engage here from DRX. Teddy finally moves on over. So T1 actually winning out in that little skirmish without their extraordinarily fed AD carry.
And you still have the power of this Twisted Fate that has gotten fed through the global gold. Drake getting started up. I don't want them to flip this. There's an advantage for Pioshik here, although he can't quite get.
No, he can't get over the wall. He literally can't get over the wall. There's no way for him to get in. So this is just free. He watches it go down, but it's like looking at that flash button being like, where did it go? King in, sitting at half health. They're looking potentially for Canna, who does manage to get himself a stun. In goes Carrier, but he's denied for the moment. But now Canna's just bouncing around this fight. Becca, the unbreakable will's looking pretty breakable, and it's another ulti miss there from Sulker. And T1 will now be able to transition into multiple inhibitors. Now able to move back at themselves to Drake if they would like it. But they still have a minute left on this Baron.
This is the T1 everyone was expecting today, Atlas. This is why we were expecting 3 zeros.
Right now. Moving towards 25 minutes, and Pioshik is desperately trying to find a team fight that they're looking for. Everfrost, his fantastic heroic entrance has been so good this game as well, as Shockwave lands onto one tank. And it is going to be Tristana managing to take down Faker here. Teddy goes golden as everyone tries to collapse. This could be the team fight they're looking for. A double kill already for the Trista's Bow is untouched right now, and T1, they need to get the heck out of here. The resets are starting to come through. Here's another one as Kingen gives it over to Bow. And Cuz and Canna, you need to escape. There are super minions that are getting work done, but I feel like I've been caster cursing a lot here.
But these summoners being down might actually influence the next Drake fight. As T1, I don't even think you want to risk it for the Baron.
Oh, Carrier caught out of position here, unfortunately. 1 versus 4. Don't like those odds. And this is DRX finding a few opportunities, finding a few moments. Yep. Destiny is going to give them all the information. True Shot Barrage, massively high value. They're looking to see whether they can burst this one down. Destiny gets Faker into position. T1. This is a 5v5 that can be very difficult, but they still have a lot more gold, and Teddy is huge. Can they do it is the question. They're trying to get these Winds of War in, and now the turn does come through. Teddy's a long way away from this fight as Kingen just getting fought, and they can't just split up and fight 1v1 like this. As Pioshik comes in, Canna immediately goes golden. Another whiff Shockwave as Cuz gets into that backline. And look at these health bars, they're so low. As Carrier looks for the Justice Punch, doesn't quite find it. Exhaust is down, Bow is going to get murdered. Faker through with the gold card. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And DRX, they went for the Hail Mary Baron and they were punished.
And it is the teleport into the base, but the inhibitors respawn. Pioshik keeps on running here.
Oh,
but
that is an angry bee. He's like, you going for a running race with me, my friend? As
oh, no.
Chilling Smite comes up and Cuz says, absolutely. I'm not even gonna boop you. I'm gonna run past and pick up the kill. In the meantime, though, Faker is all business. And T1 will get to match point in their first playoffs match for 2021 spring.
If your opponent is tanking the Baron, if they're in an awkward position, and instead, it is T1 that says, well, you're trying to take this. You know we're up by a lot of gold, right?
Yeah.
And they punish adequately.
T1 is now on a match point in order to advance to the second round of the playoffs. This time around, T1 had a very stable comp, and Aurelia was a counter pick into Gnar, which is actually rather risky instead of stable. But T1 was able to play out this comp really well. T1 first picked Udyr, and DRX was pretty confident and sure that Gnar is the key to success in today's series, that they take away Gnar as their first pick. So T1 picked a hard counter pick into Gnar, Aurelia. Regardless of the result of game number 3, compared to game 1 and 2, T1 this time around, they had a firm and solid goal and theme of their comp for the first time in today's series. And because of the very early mistake happened on the bottom lane, actually Ezreal was able to get super fed and the game was pretty much imbalanced till the end. But still, we also wanted to point out that T1 was able to find main theme of their play, and their bottom duo was able to find a massive edge over the opponent's lane partners. We can also put it this way. Kingen was able to play the top side of the map really well, but DRX bottom duo was the weak point of DRX. So let's take a look at this rotation coming out from Udyr. So it was definitely spotted on their vision that Udyr was rotating towards the bottom lane, but I guess DRX didn't think that it's gonna be an aggressive turret dive. Instead, they thought it's gonna be a Scuttle or a Drake, so Orianna TPs to her lane, and Hecarim rotates to the top side of the map. So Cuz was easily able to cross over the line, and it was an easy peasy turret dive for T1 because there were no guards on the side of DRX to block this kind of rotation coming out from T1. I think DRX had no heads up for this upcoming turret dive at all. It was really odd to see this because the minion vision did spot Udyr coming to the bottom hand side of the map, but still, rest of the DRX players was not making any cover play. And this is the point where T1 was able to crash the game. On the other hand, DRX was not able to capitalize the lead that they had in the early game on the top side of the map. So once again, they were in a big rush. Snar didn't have any Gnar bar, and also Kingen was not taking his TP or something. He was just walking towards the top side of the map. Ezreal had 2 items completed, whereas Bao only had Kraken Slayer. Maybe DRX was too caught up with the fact that T1 should not take this Herald, but if you are fight out this team fight like this, maybe you should rather concede this over to your opponent and take a safer position. Once again, we could see some panic play coming out from DRX. I don't see any reason for Gnar to stay between the turrets. And T1, with that huge teamfight victory, they were able to accelerate their lead, and we were able to see a very clean macro play coming out from T1. I think this was the best game out of T1 in today's series so far. DRX did fight their tooth and nails in order to stay in this game, but T1 was way too strong. And the POG will be Faker on Twisted Fate. 57% of kill participation, and the most critical and crucial thing for T1 was that Faker was able to pick up a kill whenever he was using his Destiny. He was always getting the best value out of his Destiny Gate, and also Orianna was not able to have the lane priority to hold Twisted Fate in lane. Even though TF was very low on mana with the turret dive earlier in this game, he was using all of his ability to charge up and regenerate some of the mana back in order to pull it off. And that fantastic Everfrost was the game-ending activation in the end. I have actually never seen Everfrost finding that much of a value so far. 5 out of 9 votes picked up by Faker, and the rest was heading over to Teddy and Ezreal, who was able to outlane and have a lane kingdom on the bottom lane as well. T1 is now on a match point, and DRX really needs to pick up another win to put this game back to an even state. So let's take a look at game number 4, whether DRX can find a clutch play up against T1.